Give him a show at some point. Hi,
Hey, wait.
everybody.
Hey, I figured it out. They can hear you. What's up? Say hello.
Hello.
Okay. Stupid. I don't know why I haven't been just running it through my Yeti because my Yeti has audio in it, so it's just capturing that. What's up?
Well, we're gonna run the show till Ryan can get a wrangle on his issues.
All
So
right. Dope. I didn't know he was having
it's
audio
it's the,
issues.
it's the Sawyer show until our third can make it. No big deal.
No big dealio. How's your week been, Ben? Sorry, everybody. First of all, for the fucking snafu. Behind the scenes, special look at bounty board tech says, yeah, that's something that I need to.
Right. Real interesting.
It's the best, dude. It's the best. How's your week been?
Eh. Eh. Eh.
Good.
Nothing worth blogging about.
All right. Well, that doesn't
Yeah.
mean it's a bad week.
No, nothing worth
Most
blogging about.
humans' lives for most of humanity has not been worth blogging about.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? But, yeah, nothing too terrible either. I feel like I'm getting sick, but I had 2 days of bad sleep, so I could just be sleep deprived. I'm
Sure.
trying a new diet, so I think I'm fat deprived too, sugar deprived, alcohol deprived.
Sure. You get
Uh,
the achy, creepy crawlies in your skin.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
And we're working out really hard too, so our bodies are taxed. So
No
it's,
taxation without representation. Does that mean that like you can't work out without getting gains?
it just means that you better be getting gains if you're going to be taking it out of yourself, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so it works.
Yeah, it still works. Still
Yeah.
works.
About yourself?
That's been all right. Lots of work and fanoodling and figuring that stuff out. Did have the weekend off though, and that meant we got a lot of shit done. I updated my office, so if you didn't
You had a
notice,
week off?
weekend I had the weekend off.
Oh, nice.
So if you didn't notice, this camera's in a little bit of a different space. I have an L-shaped desk now because I bought a little cheapy second desk at IKEA and attached them. And
IKEA is good at providing cheap desks, that's for sure.
yeah, it was
Like
like
the cheapest thing in their whole warehouse.
yeah, it was like $15 for the tabletop and $4 for each leg.
Yeah,
And I was
stupid.
like, all right, dope. And I could have spent $23 on the tabletop and gotten
Right.
a big bitch, but that's still not that much money. And it works out great. So I've got my microphone now. You can see it angled over the top of my screen, and then the camera's on the middle screen. I got 3 screens up now. If you see behind me, I got a bookshelf covered in all my nerd shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice having space. It's super nice having space. And now I can like have OBS up on one screen, full screen, seeing that, and also our notes for Dropbox and for the episodes over here, and I can manage all that shit. And I can like double check on cast to make sure it's not having a heart attack.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good. I'm enjoying
Cool.
it. I'm digging it. Yeah. I would ask Sarge, but he's not here. I was about to be like, Sarge, how is... Oh, wait.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
He's just a
I
blurry
just
block.
I just watched the fifth and sixth episode of The Outsider.
Oh, is it good? That's that Stephen King show on HBO, ain't?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's real slow. Not much happens per episode.
Sure.
It's very, very slow. But it's intriguing. Um, yeah. The beginning is really dreadful. Lots of people dying, and then it turns into more of a detective show, and then now it seems to be kind of ramping back up again. So it's got a really interesting progression to it. Although I was very thrown off by this last episode because a baby cried, and it was that same fucking baby crying sound effect you hear in every TV show ever.
Sure. They just had a
And
canned sound.
I'm like, hold up,
Hold
this is
on.
this is HBO. You couldn't spare a baby.
You couldn't... Well...
I mean, I was so now,
Yeah.
and then there's the other end of the spectrum where sound people do that as like a, you know,
Homage. Yeah.
yeah.
Tip of the cap.
Did you guys catch that? I'm clever.
It only works insofar as like it doesn't immediately throw people out of the show, though. Like a Wilhelm
Well,
scream, I'm never like, this movie's stupid now. But if I see a crack of lightning and the thunder's like, I've heard that, then fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
there's a few things like that. There's the same eagle sound that's the same, and then there's this same thunderclap. And then there's one explosion for sure that I hear a lot or used to anyway. Then there's the Diddy laugh. It's another baby laugh for the. I can't duplicate it because it's ridiculous, but everybody's heard it. So if you guys know, just look up Diddy laugh and listen. That's
I
famous.
thought it was like a laugh of. I thought it was like P
P
Diddy
Diddy?
laughing.
No.
Yeah.
But it's a very famous child laughing song or sound that's in everything. So it was like that, and it did
Yeah.
throw me off. But I think different people have different sensibilities for that kind of thing. Like,
Dentonstein
there's-
said that HBO probably could have afforded to raise a lab baby specifically for that, but
yeah, yeah. I don't know how much lab babies cost, but I'm sure they could cover it. It's got to be less than the price of
why
a
don't you
TV
just
show.
go to like some YouTube channel or some family
I
streamer and be like, "Hey, I'll
I
give you
tried to find this sound
$10,000
effect.
for a laugh."
I tried to find this sound effect and heard a billion different ones I've never heard before. Trying to find this one, so like, it's
There's
obviously
other
not hard-
options.
right?
Yeah.
Then there's one in particular that really stands out. It's a car peeling out, and I know I can tell you right now that it's both in that Daft Punk video Interstellar 5555.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in like the second episode of that, and then it's definitely when Jim goes to visit Pam at school because Roy gave him the idea. Like I thought you were her friend because she was out late partying with her friends.
Yeah.
So Jim-
yeah.
Jim tries to, like, drunkenly-
noise.
Jim turns around on the highway or whatever. It's the same sound.
Yeah.
So I hear it everywhere.
There's also isn't that sound also used when Dwight runs to help Michael after he burns his foot?
Nope.
There's tire screeching in that. That's,
There it is, but it's not the same.
Okay. He fucking pukes on his car hood because he
Yeah.
gives himself a concussion. Oh man, the good shit. The good shit. Well,
Look at all these-
well,
Look at all these people watching. What's up, everybody?
yeah, we got rated with a party of 14. A few
Smash,
like an
smash
hour
that
ago.
like button.
Smash that like and subscribe. Smash it. So yeah, we had a raid during a Call of Duty match, and
Cool.
it's been dope. They're pretty cool. We got a couple follows even out of it. While we're waiting for Sarge, I don't know what's going on. We are gonna go, I guess, roll into news. You have access to the Dropbox I sent you, yes?
Aye.
All right. So one of these is funny because I'm involved in it.
Might have to bite your tongue a little bit. They are watching.
Are they? They probably are.
Streamers get fired all the time.
It's true. It's true.
So-
It's true. Okay, so first we'll start with Sony then. Sony canceled their PAX East attendance. And this is not another one of those, like, Sony, fuck you guys, we're not going to show up. They canceled their attendance to PAX East due to coronavirus concerns, which is interesting. This is from Twinfinite. Thanks, Alex Gibson. I know you listen. He doesn't. Sony's canceled its participation in PAX East 2020 just a week before the show, citing fears over the spread of coronavirus. The news comes by way of Sony's content communications manager, Justin Massengill, who explained the decision over on the PS blog earlier today. He explains that while the company regretted the action, they felt it was necessary to protect the health and safety of its global workforce, first and foremost. It's interesting to me because PAX East is in Boston. That
Yeah.
seems pretty far removed. Now, I understand that there are, like, international airports you'll have to go to.
Yeah, if you're gonna get sick, travel. Right. That's how you get sick. By
Right,
traveling.
right.
So.
So,
Was it? Who owns Joystick? What's the parent company?
I have no idea. Is Joystick still around?
Shoot, it's this big media conglomerate. What's
Is
the?
it Gawker?
No, maybe small. Or like, was it Engadget or something like that? Anyway, some really big blog today posted this about Sony pulling out because of the coronavirus, and the image they chose to use for the title of the article.
No, wasn't that fucking IGN? No, it might have been
It was
Engadget.
it was a clicker.
Yeah, it was somebody shooting a clicker, and it was like,
Yeah. And all the comments are like, bro,
woof on that one. Let's
Could
not.
we not?
Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, I need to find out who that was.
I can just look at who I tweeted today because I definitely said tasteless.
Yeah, and with a chorus of people that were
Also
like,
saying,
no. Yeah, it's funny that happened recently with IGN too. IGN took a picture in their Rick and Morty car.
Engadget. I thought it was right.
Yeah,
Okay,
Engadget.
Engadget.
IGN took a picture with the Rick and Morty car that they had for the day or something, but they're very clearly parked in a handicap spot, and people are like laying on top of the car to take the picture, and everyone's like, "Yo, just fucking find somewhere else to park. Don't take a picture and fucking just yeah."
Right.
You got to think about these things. Don't incriminate yourself immediately. But yeah, so Sony's not gonna have a big thing at PAX East. It's weird though. You'd think they have enough people in the United States working for them to field a team there. But Last of Us 2 will still be there.
Yeah.
Dreams will still be there.
Dreams is kind of making some waves lately.
Yeah, I want that game bad. It's only like $40 too. I want to start. Yeah, I want that because I want to see what it's like to like create in it. Because it would be dope to see. They've got people making movies and music and games and fuck yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I saw somebody was doing like a giant monster simulator and it was all physics based. And you just walk around a city and crush things. It looked awesome. And like had tail physics, so if you swung your tail it would hit other buildings and
yeah,
it's crazy.
Dope. That's dope. It'll be interesting to see what that game is fully capable of, in a couple of years, like what people are making on it, because that what we're seeing now is just like the first wave.
Right.
And whatever comes, when the tools have been learned thoroughly by somebody.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what that looks like. Yeah, Engadget. Good job, guys. Good job, guys.
Well, if it's any consolation, they got like 14 likes and 6 comments, and that's it. So
yeah, like none.
I've had better success on Twitter lately.
It's funny that all the comments are like,
yeah, poo poo.
Good job, guys. And they haven't changed it all day. Come on.
No, they didn't bother.
Yeah, that's weird. All right, let's see.
Yacht Club?
Yacht Club Games has Cyberpunk is in the air, everybody. Cyberpunk is in the air. Earlier this afternoon, Shovel Knight developer Yacht Club announced they'll be hosting their own mini Nintendo Direct, which is dope. This will be just the second time that they've done it.
As wild as
Devolver.
Yeah.
Devolvers are so good. You're like, what? What is actually happening right now?
They're so great.
Dude, I think when we hosted the E3 party last year, the only person who was still at my place was Dent, one of the Dents. Yeah. And I was like, you can leave if you want. Like, I'm going to watch the Devolver thing. He's like, no, fuck it. So we figured out how to watch it. And we got into it, and within minutes, we're like, are we on the right channel? Like,
it was one of my favorite things I loved last year.
Yeah.
It was so incredible. But I love that kind of weird humor. So, but yeah, anyway, so they're showcasing a few new games.
Yeah.
One of which I was watching the trailer of when we started streaming.
Cyber Shadow.
Which looks like a modern day Ninja Gaiden.
Yep.
Modern day meaning like the speed and control of what's that Wisp? No, what's that game? The next one's about to come out. It's something about wisps. Your little glowing.
Oh, Ori.
Ori. It looks like it plays like Ori, but the 8-bit is so crisp. I mean, everybody knows what Shovel Knight is. Probably it looks like that, but just more rich. It looks incredible. Yeah. A lot of games like Dead Cells looks retro, but isn't. It's actually 3D.
Right.
And then that game I played and did a video of that was like 3D but made to look 2D, but this is actual sprites. It looks actually incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Cool art, man. I dig it, but who knows what else they'll show off.
Speaking of digging it, the only other title we know that Yacht Club's making is a game called Dig. It's the only Shovel. It seems like Dig is the only Shovel Knight game they could talk about. So maybe it's an expansion or I don't know. I am completely unaware of what Shovel Knight Dig is. But if you want to watch this, the stream, the Yacht Club's Games Presents stream will be next week, February 26th at 9 Pacific, which is 11 here, 12 o'clock on the East Coast. And if you live in Colorado, it's 10 o'clock. Everyone always skips Mountain Time. I wonder why that is. Probably just because listing 4 things is annoying.
Yeah, we know it's simple math.
Yeah, and there's probably more people in the Central Time Zone.
And if you're in that time zone,
Texas,
you're used
Chicago,
to like
Milwaukee.
calculating next to Pacific or otherwise.
Yeah. Yep. Also, I think it might be a population thing. Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Kansas City, Texas. There's a lot of big cities in the Central, and the only big city in the mountain is Denver and Phoenix.
Sorry, nope. That's two big ones, very big ones.
But
Biggest
I just
city.
listed fucking 5. Dallas, Houston, Austin, Texas, all in Central Time Zone. Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Kansas City.
Yeah, you're right though. Phoenix is the biggest.
And
Yeah, most of the mountain time zones uninhabitable.
there you go. They're like, we would tell you what time it is, but no one watches TV here.
Yeah.
Anyway, Xbox games with gold for March have been announced. This is going to go with another bit for Game Pass for March, but we'll start with games with gold. If you have Xbox Live Gold, beginning of March, you will be getting.
These are out now.
That's the February section. Why is there not? Okay, cool. I picked an article that was like, these are the games coming out for March. It's not.
There you go. Just keep scrolling down.
Is it down there?
Yeah.
No. I fucked up, everybody.
Oh, we got March predictions.
So Call of Cthulhu will be carrying over into March. That starts February 16th. Started February 16th. Carries on into March 15th. But everything else is the first through the end or the middle of the end of February. Battlefront 1, original Xbox game, ends the 29th. Isle of Man also ends the 29th. And Fable Heroes was the first half of the month. Cool. Then ignore that one completely. I love when you're on a website and it's just like, hey, do you want to have us send you emails all the time? And no, of course not. Okay, so this one's Game Pass March, which has been confirmed. And it's actually kind of dope. I'm kind of excited. Not because I want to play them, but because it's just things that have been PlayStation exclusive for a minute are starting to not be. And that's always a good sign. So, Game Pass in March is giving, well, I guess end of February and beginning of March, is giving us Ninja Gaiden 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, which is bananas. That game was not on Xbox for 13 years. And now it's on Game Pass. It will be on Game Pass. 2 Point Hospital, which is like it's not a city sim. It's like if you condense that down to a hospital. Like you're building a hospital out and trying to figure out how to make things run. But all of like ailments are ridiculous. Like I saw one where there was like an outbreak of people with beehives on their heads. or some weird shit. Yeah. Wasteland Remastered is coming soon, which is the game originally made by In Exile, which inspired Fallout. For those of you who are Fallout stans, that's the way to go. Check that game out. It came out on PC in like 97 or something like that. Yakuza 0 on the 26th. And Jackbox Party Pack 3 for... Yeah. That's just the end of February. I don't know why this headline says March, but it's February. So yeah, that's dope. In March, we're getting... with Game Pass, Bleeding Edge, which I was not a... What did you think of Bleeding Edge? We played that this weekend.
I loved it. I couldn't get enough. I played it every day of the beta. I was completely surprised by how much fun that was.
Yeah.
Even when I was getting my ass kicked. I am very much looking forward to that game now. I don't know how much else it's going to offer at launch. So that means either I'll get bored quickly or they'll update quickly. We'll see. But it's Game Pass, so I don't have to buy it. So I'm definitely going to be playing this. And everybody I played it with had fun. Even Tech, who said doesn't look like it's his style, played a match. And went, oh, that was actually kind of fun. So,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it big time. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I thought that for a game that has a lot of things that feel like they should be or have been parts of other games, like the way the movement works, the way like objectives are, it could have been very like, oh, this is Overwatch, but with different characters, and instead it didn't. Control felt like Control. Like that's always gonna feel the same. I think you're never gonna get a Control game mode that doesn't feel like other Control game modes, but they're like...
I did like how fast you captured it, though. You stood on like 3 seconds, and the old teams went, and yours went, and that's it.
Yep.
And so the
it's
switch
like
was fast.
a 5-second cap tops.
Not even.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
you're playing Call of Duty, it's like
Yeah, you're just sitting there while the sniper's taking aim.
exactly.
I
But
felt like it was more complicated than Overwatch. Overwatch usually has one objective. You stand on that objective and you escort it.
right,
Or you've got one capture and hold, and you stand on that and you escort it. This had the multiple capture points, which was interesting, and because you can't split up, that was one really interesting about the game. Is one Genji can cause a big problem in Overwatch if he's good, right?
right, right.
One Winston can jump in and disrupt and jump out. In this game, if you're in by yourself, you're dying. That's it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I did have a
You had to
couple of
stay as a
moments where like I could do a few things, but
yeah,
yeah, it was like a y'all all died and they're gonna cap this point. I can take two with me, but
yeah.
it was never like I'm gonna hold off the whole team. That was just did not feel like it was possible at
Most of the
all.
time, it was 4-on-4 until one team lost a couple of their members,
Especially
and
healers.
you had two choices. The other two people that left alive could run away, or they're gonna die, and that's I put more than 10 hours into that, and that's about what happened every time. I can tell you, and I'm sad to say this, that I had a lot more fun playing that than Disintegration.
Sure, sure. And I think that there's a difference in I, it's weird. It's weird because like I thought this would be less polished. Honestly,
I didn't know what to expect.
Disintegration seemed like it had been put together for. It has been in the process of being put together for a while, and I had no idea how long Ninja Theory had been working on this. And when it came out, it just felt like it was just. I didn't have any issues at
Yeah,
all.
super smooth, fast. Didn't have, well, I think it crashed for somebody mid game. It went straight to desktop or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
dashboarded.
yeah. Hold on one second. Ryan's still having problems. You
All right.
with hold on.
I wasn't gonna ask you a question. I was gonna fill the void.
Oh,
Bleeding Edge is coming out March 16th, I believe. I just closed the window that said that, but Bleeding Edge is middle of March, so it's not too long away. And there's going to be an open beta in a couple weeks. I think next weekend. The last week was a closed beta. If you had Game Pass, you got in. There's going to be an open beta before it launches. I'm interested to see if like the characters they have in it are all the characters, or if they've got other characters that they like saved, or if they're working on characters that'll come out eventually. But they've also said that there's not going to be any paid DLC. It's all going to be free, and the microtransactions are going to be non-combat impacting. So
yeah.
it's going to
Love
play like it's going to have stuff added to it like Overwatch and Apex that you can hop in. I don't think they're going to make you pay for a character, though. I do think I remember hearing them say
I
that.
wonder how they're gonna. I wonder they're gonna have in-game currency. Obviously, I wonder how they're gonna sustain themselves. You know.
They're an
Can't
Xbox
just-
studio. They got funding from Xbox. I don't know if they're worried about it that much, and it's going to be on Game
Maybe not
Pass.
initially, but even Sea of Thieves instituted a currency after their first year.
Well, yeah, I just said they're going to have microtransactions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're just not going to impact combat. They're going to be skins and
Cool.
emotes, and shit like that. Which
to
I'm
go.
fine with, man. Like,
For sure.
I don't really ever need that stuff, but if someone wants it,
I mean, I've
Go
bought
for
a
it.
few. I bought a
Yeah.
few skins on Warframe,
yeah, I've bought
but
a
it's
few.
not.
on-
It's not
on-
common.
Yeah, I don't think I've bought many on Apex, but I've definitely bought some stuff on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if you
Uh,
like the game, why not? I find. Remember when Apex came out? I kept like every couple months being like, "I've been playing this like crazy. Y'all deserve $15 more from me."
Yeah, I
which
have
is
that
how you
thought
played.
sometimes,
Which is
too.
how you played Warframe. You like
Yep.
every couple of months, you'd be like, "You know what? I'm gonna buy a thing because I've been using the fruits of someone else's labor for my entertainment without paying for it, and that always feels like a time where I'm like, yeah, here's some money. Like it's okay."
Yeah. You pay 'em when you can.
Exactly. That's it for news. Oh, I guess there's that last article. So if you guys have been paying attention to news today, IGN, Polygon, a bunch of big websites published a thing about people who work at GameStop talking about it being awful. And without going into details, I guess, to incriminate myself, I will confirm that whatever you're going to read about is true. I won't talk shit directly, but read the article. It's all 100% true. And some of it that may not sound that bad, or may not sound like it could be that bad, is that bad. GameStop is trying to figure out how to survive, and they're not doing it well. It feels.
What do you think about those new studio, like arcade lounge setups? Do you think those are?
Those could be cool, 100%, but it does feel like the way they're going to implement those is give that update to the stores that are doing the best, which is not generally how you save a business.
Yeah.
You put it because if you give it to the stores that are doing the best, all the stores that aren't doing good are going to start doing worse because everyone's going to want to go to the cool one.
I guess, yeah.
And so you got to do it strategically. And they also have like 6,000 stores, 6,500 stores.
That's a lot. That's too much. That's crazy.
We counted like 12 in St. Louis. Like there's North County, Creve Coeur. There's like so many, and they could do with South City, North County, West County,
Right.
St.
But
Charles.
what would they do with all that inventory, though? You know, that's so much stuff.
I mean,
Every store is packed to the gills with junk.
yeah, and like there's a lot of places where they could probably expand. Like the one I used to work at, they could definitely expand into a strip mall next door that they used to be in before, and build out a bigger space. There's a lot right next to my store that's been unoccupied for almost a year. Just knock down that wall, make it bigger. Throw a couple big flat screens in there with some couches. I don't know, man. Like it seems like they're trying too hard to cash in on things that aren't fixes their salves, and the salve is gonna wear off eventually. Salve. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Yeah. I wish I could give you guys a good outlook or a good like, here's what it's gonna be, but
Yeah, we just don't know.
don't know. No idea.
Like that landscape is just forever kind of fucked. Like I went to the comic book shop today because I like reading comics with my hands. That doesn't apply to video games anymore.
Yeah, no, I can get all my shit from home. I have gotten everything from home.
So why would I go to they need to think about this. How can they restructure? How can they make a place that people feel like they need to go? You know, people still go to Best Buy and Walmart doesn't count, but
That's been my
we have a really awesome electronics store here called Micro Center. And for anybody who's ever built a PC, that place is just Mecca. It's
yeah, for sure.
it's amazing. It's incredible. I love going in there. I like walking slowly down the aisles and looking at stuff because it's like what I like looking at. So how can they do that for video gamers? You know, and when I go to Target, I just go down the toy aisle still. I do. I go look at the Nerf guns and I see what Star Wars shit is new.
Yes.
And there was a thing where you put your hand on there and it would like either give you like a red lightsaber or a blue lightsaber. Like that shit's amazing. Toys R Us in its heyday was fucking incredible. And I can only assume, without Ryan being here, that there was some huge corporate structure problems that let that place fail because there's still toy stores now. The Lego store is bigger than it's ever been. Like there's still an appeal to buying toys.
There's only a few of those too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that was the thing I was thinking about earlier today. Is that like there's one IKEA every 300 miles.
Sure.
And they make a big deal out of it, and it's an event, and like that place is always busy because.
Yeah, Toys R Us could have done that.
Yeah.
Make it feel like a theme park.
Yeah.
You know, because like
GameStop
IKEA feels like a ride.
Yeah. Yeah. IKEA feels like you're at a theme park for adults.
Yeah.
Look at all this furniture.
Yeah, you get meatballs and yeah.
Oh yeah, and you get meat. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of ways to solve the GameStop problem, and it's making it like you said a second ago, which is something I said on Black Friday when they were open on Thanksgiving the day before. They need to focus more on figuring out a way to make people want to go there all year than banking on making enough money to survive until next year on a couple months.
Yeah, and I don't think it's tchotchkes. I don't think it's Funko Pops. I don't think it's T-shirts. I don't think it's Destiny keychains. Because you can get that shit at like anywhere. You can get that shit at Hot Topic. You know, you can get that shit at Target.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, like, I don't think that's necessarily bad. It just needs to be put together in a way that looks better. Right now, it's like, here's a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Do you want some? Here's a clearance rack that's just full of garbage. I don't know. It's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. I'm also super interested to see what happens after GameStop. Like, who fills its spot? Because it's got a spot that can be filled. And, like, I think we're getting to a point where like internet cafes might come back in a big way to field like esports tournaments because that's becoming more and more and more a thing. And you've got little parks we got parks with baseball fields all over the place. Why aren't there strip malls with esports arenas all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And I think GameStop should like dive into that. And Tech in the chat right now, for those of you in the chat, is making good points. Like they've got
Yeah, there's lots of, I was just looking at that. There's a lot of good points in the chat we should have been recognizing, but
for sure, yeah. Tech is saying that like they have exclusives and they've got a way to carve themselves out to have exclusives. And then
oh fuck yeah, video game. Oh, that's not. That was funny. Video game coaching, that would be incredible.
yeah, it would be like I was talking about this the other day. I talk about this all the time, but I was telling another coworker that like why don't we operate like the Apple Store and have like because the Apple Store has like music experts, gaming experts, photography experts, all sorts of different people who like know things about specific ways to use their devices. And GameStop should have an Xbox expert or two, and a couple PlayStation experts and Nintendo experts, and have setups for like scheduled like, hey, we're gonna play some Xbox Game Pass exclusives today, and hey, we're gonna teach you how to do this on this system and on this system and on this system, because you have a lot of parents who just don't do that. And like they're saying in the chat, like turning it into a streaming center.
Yeah.
And saying,
booths.
yeah,
Like
giving people
booth.
booths and say, all right, and our store's so close to downtown. Like, here's we're gonna build a big antenna on top of it and aim it at the data hub of St. Louis, like Moonbase did, and we can support 10 people streaming at once, or whatever.
Right.
There's so many things like the thing I'm more stuck on is like the idea of having colloquial esports teams, like the Ace Hardware the Ace Hardware Overwatch team. Oh shit, Sarge is here. Let me grab his title card.
Fuck cast.
Did Cast crash your computer?
Why
No,
is
it does it. It does this shit every week. It tells me that it can't connect to my microphone, or it can't detect my microphone when the 30 other programs I have on my PC can find it.
are all connected to your microphone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, homie.
And Cast doesn't work in Opera either, so
You're
I have to
sounding
use
Extra crisp tonight, though.
You sound very good.
Yeah.
What are you using for a microphone, my friend?
My Yeti. The
Oh.
same thing I use every week.
It sounds better
It
now.
sounds much better now than it ever has before.
It sounds like the last couple of weeks you've been streaming with your webcam, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're just talking about GameStop and how they could be better. So
Yeah, you got any ideas? Can you fix it for us real quick? Can you fix GameStop real quick?
no, I couldn't fix Toys R Us.
So we also brought that up. Yeah.
Well, what would make you go to a GameStop?
So.
Tournaments,
Yeah, I mean-
straight up.
Yeah.
Tournaments
That'd probably be the only thing that drew me in there, because I'm not a collector and I buy my games digitally.
You
That's
imagine
right.
if they hosted a little $15, I can't talk. If they had a $15 2-man duos buy-in for a Rocket League tournament, and the winner
Yeah,
gets
I said
gets a
tournament.
pot.
I don't know.
And if they did that for Call of Duty Gunfight, and if they did that, like, there's ways to do this, and there's ways to do this and make it a lot of fun, and like be a place for the community to come hang out. But I don't know why no one's doing this yet.
Okay,
Why
well,
is
arcades failed, and those were $0.25 a piece for a play.
Well, that's because Nintendo said, what if you didn't have to
And
leave the house for it? And once you
Right.
bought it once, you didn't have to keep paying quarters for it. Like,
Okay.
this needs to be,
But
hey,
if gaming in public was the draw, then arcades should have never have failed. So where did arcades fail that GameStop could not fail?
I think you're thinking of it too macro, because gaming in public is maybe why arcades failed in the past, but that's
Yeah.
not a deterrent anymore. Esports is literally public gaming. It's going to a place and watching that
But
stuff
it's-
happen, and like
I go to
being
my
able.
couch and watch games.
Sure. That's a bit like large level esports that you're watching, but like being able to compete in it. Nobody. I don't know anybody that does large esports tournaments from home. Right? They're in a place. It's a gathering spot. Why do people go watch baseball games? I don't know. This shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know how to explain this. Like,
Why do I not go watch an NFL game because I'm gonna sit on the sidelines and not see a goddamn thing, but I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna see it on my TV, and they're gonna zoom right in on all the plays. I
Like,
get to see everything when I want to, how I want to.
yeah, but that being said, the NFL sells hundreds of millions of tickets every
Yeah,
year.
you don't go, but the NHL is fine.
NHL, NFL, MLB, NBA, hundreds of millions of tickets. What I'm trying to say is like there's a way to make game tournaments accessible, fun, and build communities around GameStops.
It's just got to be profitable. You can't, like we tried that shit at Game Crazy and we made no money doing them. And if we put up a pot, nobody would show up because all the gamers we attracted were poor. So like,
And,
yeah,
Yeah.
and the incentives are terrible. Like if you had a tournament at a GameStop and you're like, the winner gets $250, somebody's probably gonna show up. But you get this special edition pop. Oh boy, like if you're not a pop collector, then it's not something that you're gonna want to get anyway. Like
No,
oh,
but
I
if
can only get this
Tech's
that
about
way.
to lose his mind. I bet if they put some hard to find, worth a lot of money pops up for a
Tech would
tournament,
show up out of
people
the four
people
of
would
us.
show up that don't care. They'd sell them for more money afterwards. Like we had a guy buy a Biggie and a Tupac pop from us a couple weeks ago, and sold them both that night for like $300 each, because they were super rare. And he was like, "Yo, I need these," and then went home and sold them and came back the next day and was like, "Thanks." Yeah, Tech also points out he was watching the NBA All-Star game and who was courtside? Ninja. So like,
right.
games and sports are already overlapping.
He was hanging out with Guy Fieri too. I think I saw that picture.
It's the hair. People with ridiculous hair just gravitate towards each other. But we've talked about GameStop for a very long time. Hopefully nobody who I work with listens to this and reports it. I haven't said anything mean. I'm just talking obvious shit. So our main topic. Now that Ryan's here, how's your week been, first of all?
It's actually been pretty good. The wife took me out of town last night, and we went to one of those like fantasy suite hotels. It's actually pretty sick. So
what was your fantasy?
Oh, wouldn't you want to know?
It was hell.
No, like this one, it was like a beach theme. So like when you walk in, like the living room or whatever is like the carpet looks like sand, and then the wall is just all like wallpapered.
Was it hot?
But with like a sunset and shit.
With mosquitoes.
Yeah,
Was it hot though?
It is-
Do they like do the temperature like the theme or no?
No. There's a fucking air conditioner in there, and you can fucking turn that shit on if you want. But they have like fucking jacuzzi tubs with like 60-inch TVs like right in front of them and stuff. You can just hang out.
Dope. That's awesome. Was that the highlight of your week? I mean, that sounds like it would be the highlight
Yeah.
of anybody's week for sure. Dope. Well, we ran through the news and the stuff coming out to Game Pass and Games with Gold and a couple other things. Was there something that you saw that you didn't see in the Dropbox you want to talk about real quick?
Nope.
Dope. All right. So our main topic for tonight was actually suggested by Ryan, and it's the argument that we had almost a year ago, I think, about whether or not games should be more expensive.
Yeah.
But we've got consoles coming out, and there's a lot of conversation about how much they should pay, how much they should charge for them. And then Sarge made a good point in proposing this about the alternatives, because there are going to be alternatives come fall. So, Ryan, you wanted to talk about this. What are your thoughts?
Well, people were talking about like if they're gonna be able to buy them, or like if it's gonna be worth it to buy them, because I mean everything's gonna be backwards compatible once the new one comes out. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are talking about what if I just build my PC up instead? Because then I can just stop buying consoles, and I can throw the $500 for the console plus, people are talking about getting 4K TVs for the console. So like now you're talking about spending extra money on top of that console that you could just throw it into your PC and keep your PC up to date for the next 5 or 6 years without having to put another dime in it. Because I built my PC 6 years ago, and I'm still running on the same RAM, same processor, everything
Yeah,
like that.
my last
I
computer
haven't
lasted a long time.
like I don't have like I'm not playing high tech games. Like I'm not playing everything on like ultra settings on my computer, but I can play games to
Sure.
to a setting that I'm like enjoying it at least, that kind of thing. So, um, I feel like the consoles are if they can't make them super affordable, people are going to be switching to other alternatives. Like streamers already have to have good PCs, so like to get to get their stream up and
Yeah.
for chat and everything like that. So why not spend a little extra on your PC and just wipe out the console? Not
Yeah.
use it
Yeah.
anymore. So I mean,
And with like Xbox, XCloud being a thing, you're gonna be able to play your Xbox games on a PC.
Yeah.
With Stadia and what's the G? Is it GeForce? The thing that Nvidia's doing that's allowing you to
Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, something like that.
like
yeah, GeForce Experience, I think maybe.
yeah, and Nvidia in like a few months has already surpassed like you can just play your games on it. It's not like you have to pay for it and subscribe to it, and then once you've done that, you have to buy games for it, and there's only a small selection like Stadia. Instead, it's like, yo, you've got this, and you're paying for it, and if you own games, just fucking play them.
Halo Infinite's coming to PC, so
All the Halos on PC now. Well, I guess not all of it, but Reach is, and 1, 2, and 3 are following quickly.
yeah.
So yeah, it's
Well, I mean, I've got Game Pass on my Microsoft or on my the Microsoft store on my PC.
yeah.
Yeah, they're different games, but yeah.
Well, I can download. I've got Forza Horizon. I've
You
got
can, all the Xbox
Arc,
exclusives
I've
are
got-
cross. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean,
Gears.
once I mean, I only play Xbox games anyway. So if all the exclusives are going to be on Game Pass, I just play them all on my PC.
And PlayStation's starting to put games on PC. Horizon Zero Dawn showed up there. There's rumors that Last of Us is going to show up there.
Wow.
Yeah. And if PlayStation were to take an actual route to put their exclusive games onto PC, why own one or the other at that point?
Right.
100%. See, I don't have. I don't have a good reason for wanting to get a console instead of just using my PC, other than I've always had a console, and that's something that I always bought physical games, and I was like, I'll never buy digital, and eventually I got
Right.
worn down on that. So like, all of these are good points. Like, I want to say that like I need an Xbox as a console, but it's starting to seem like I won't. Now there obviously are things that that none of us will be able to play on PC because some things don't release on PC, but the number of those things is small, honestly.
And it's not like, if your friends are on the PC, say there's a game that doesn't come out, you'd be like, all right, we've got like a ginormous back catalog and a much larger library to choose from. You'll always have something to play.
Sure.
Well, crossplay is coming.
And then there's
it's going to be on
right,
everything.
right, crossplay, cross save.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's my only reason, and this was handled in our Discord, maybe even the Nerdy Bits Discord, how I don't want to relax in my studio, which is where my computer is. I want to.
Sure. You wanna have a
go in my
separate
game
room,
room,
yeah.
sit on the couch, grab a beer, not just sit back in this crusty ass chair for another 4 hours after I'm done working. I want to go somewhere else. So of course there are ways to fix that, where I'm gaming off my computer in another room. Especially on a house network, it should be kind of seamless. So
Yeah.
there's solutions to that.
Did you see the
How long
Witcher's
is it?
cross save real quick? Sorry, Ryan, I'm gonna
Yeah.
interrupt real quick. Did you see Witcher's cross save? So you can
Yeah.
move your Xbox, PC, or PlayStation save on Witcher onto your Switch.
Yeah.
It's fucking incredible. Sorry,
That's
Ryan,
great.
what were you about to say?
So Xbox has come out with XCloud that's going to allow you to play wherever you want.
Yeah,
How long do you think it's going to take before a PC can do that?
they're doing it. That's what GeForce is.
I know that's what I'm saying. So if you just have to just use your PC, to Ben's point of I don't want to be in my office,
You'll
Yeah.
be able to do it
it's gonna be
anywhere.
the same thing. You're gonna
Yeah.
be able to do it anywhere. So what's the point in buying another console or another thing to play video games if you can just play them all?
Just take your
So I-
controller
so-
and pair it to
yeah.
your TV. You're fucking fine.
I think I've been thinking about this. Like Microsoft wants to be the one go-to place that everybody has to use in their household, but most people already have a PC in their household.
Right.
So why buy another?
Well, I think that's the point. I don't think Microsoft cares if you buy an Xbox to be for their mission. I think your idea of their mission is 100% correct. But I think that's furthering the idea that I don't think they care if you buy an Xbox to do it. Because if you get Game Pass, you get a bunch of games on through Windows, and so and very few people use Mac. So and the
don't know.
Linux users have Steam and all that stuff already. But like, I think Xbox is like, we want you in our ecosystem more than they want you with their system. If you're in the Xbox ecosystem and you've got Game Pass and you're using the Xbox app to do things and play with your friends who have Xboxes, like all of those things, like I wouldn't have gotten Game Pass Ultimate except I have a PC now, and all of a sudden I have a bunch of PC games that I don't have to pay for on top of the Steam games I already have. I think this is the first step to that future where there just aren't consoles, and you've got an Xbox launcher, a PlayStation launcher, Steam, Epic Game Store, GOG. It's just going to be different places to get things, and exclusives are going to be... yeah, you'll have to buy them from the Xbox store to play Halo, but that's not even a thing really anymore because Steam's got Halo. It's going to have Halo.
I just because 75% of Americans last year had access to a desktop or laptop doesn't mean it's a gaming laptop or computer. I think with cloud gaming, of course, it doesn't matter. You just need a screen capable enough of receiving a signal, right? Like a cell phone or an iPad.
Right.
So that's the solution to that. But just saying that everybody's got a computer is not good enough.
Well, it is though.
You can use any computer that comes out now. Like, you can go to Best Buy and use any computer as a gaming PC and just set that shit on low setting.
Yeah, I guess.
And also
that's a lot different than just buying an Xbox and plugging it into your TV, though.
But with GeForce Experience, with GeForce Experience and Stadia and xCloud, everybody who has a PC will have instant access to games, no matter what the power of that PC is. So,
I don't know, would a $500 laptop be able to play games though? I don't know.
Yeah, because it's none of the processing is based on your computer.
I mean, outside of the cloud.
I mean, I had a $300 laptop in college, and I played Game Dev Tycoon and Fez and Bastion and FTL. Yeah, those are all low-level games, but they're still games.
You're not playing Halo.
No, but I don't think that anybody spending $200 on a computer is going to try and play Halo, unless they have Stadia.
Well, let's stay on point, though. The price you'd spend on a console, like, let's just assume not everybody's computer can run a game right now, and cloud gaming's not wide-reaching right now. Maybe it is in a year, but for now, we have to compare price points. So if you don't have a functional gaming computer now, you've got $500 to spend on an Xbox plus an extra console and maybe a new game. So that's $600, $650. What can you get for $650 out of a laptop? Is that going to be able to play the game at the same fidelity? Or you have to put it on low. And if you played Sea of Thieves on low, it's not worth playing.
Well, that's a good point.
It looks like Play-Doh.
That's a good point. Is that, like, for $500 you can get a system that plays at 4K.
Right.
For $500 you can't get a computer that plays at 4K.
My computer's a year old and I can't play on 4K because I didn't buy the right parts. It's easily upgradable to do that. Very easy. It'd be about the cost of an Xbox.
How many people can actually play on 4K right now?
Yeah, see, another good question.
How many people have a TV that's going to play that 4K?
And another good question.
Well, 4K's getting cheaper though, and a lot of people didn't have 1080p, and 4K was $20,000 for a 60-inch screen 8 years ago. But I could get a 4K 50-inch TV for like $400 on Black Friday.
And it's gonna look so you're gonna pay $400 for 4K. That's gonna actually be 1080.
Okay, well that's I think the point I was trying to make with
I know.
What I was trying to, the point you're being the fucking devil's advocate.
If you're wanting 4K, you're going to be paying $2,000 for a 4K TV that's going to actually play it how you want it to play.
You're going to get a Samsung QLED or something that's worth more than a lot of people's cars.
I spent like $450 for mine, and it's absolutely 4K, and it's an LG, and it's...
Yeah, that's the other thing. If you buy... What does LG uses? Sony parts or something like that, but... doesn't put their name on it, so it's cheaper.
I don't know. I don't think so. LG and Samsung are the two best rated screens on the market. So I just don't buy this year's technology. You don't have to spend $20,000. So I didn't get a QLED. I'm fine with that for now. You know,
Yeah, QLED will be cheap in a few years anyway.
that's right.
But like the point I was trying to make, Ryan, before you tried to devil's advocate me to death, was that like for 400 for actually right now for $350 you can get the most powerful console ever made. $350 you get an Xbox Series X, or sorry, an Xbox One X. Your naming convention sucks. You get an Xbox One X that does 4K at 60 frames per second. And even if you don't have a 4K, I don't have a 4K monitor or TV. I have an X. I got my X for cheap. And I'm able to play a bunch of shit that looks fucking fantastic.
Yep.
And I can't spend $350 on a PC and play the shit y'all playing.
Nope.
So like that is an in for people that have, and I think that's why consoles will exist for a while, because PCs haven't gotten to the point where they're cheap enough to be easy to put together for people that don't know what they're doing either.
Yep.
And that may
PC
happen in the
gaming is
future.
getting easier, but it's not console easy.
Yeah, console's just here's a box with 2 cords and
Yep.
a controller, and you're done. And the back of my PC looks like fucking a Sentinel from The Matrix because it's just fucking cords all over the place.
Yep.
But that also opens up the question of like after this console generation, will we get another console or will it just be an Xbox made PC? Right?
I mean,
Because
they
like
always
the
have been.
Series X already looks like a tower.
Yeah.
And they're moving in that direction anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So why not buy just a PC tower made by Sony that
I mean,
that runs the Google store or whatever?
I mean, they are extremely budgeted computers that are really well made,
And they
That-
sell at a loss as well.
and they do sell at a loss. So you have been buying computers for a long time with a very proprietary piece of operating system, or whatever. So that's what we've been doing. They're just dumbed down. So I don't know if it would ever change to where this is just going back to the PC model. I think the only logical evolution from here is the only way consoles are going to die is if you're buying the Xbox Roku. You know, it's just a receiver.
Right.
That's the only way consoles are going to die. They're not going to transform into PCs because we have PCs.
Well,
So-
that's what I think the argument is that PCs are going to become more affordable and easier to go with. And if Xbox moves away from giving you a console that's dedicated to being a console and moves their hardware into building more affordable PCs and just unites
I don't-
that.
I don't
They're
see them
like-
doing that. I
but
would
there-
see,
but there
I
are,
see them
like,
getting
big-
out of the hardware market. Like, what's the point of getting into the hardware market when the hardware market's already established?
Oh, because they'll still sell boxes. They won't leave the hardware market until people stop buying stuff. And the number of people that are clinging to physical discs right now makes me think people are going to cling to physical hardware for a while too. And I think that like
Once they become Rokus, I think the facade will collapse immediately. People will immediately understand that this is just a receiver, and you don't need a piece of hardware anymore. I think.
yeah, but a lot of PCs also still have disc trays. And as long as people want to buy discs and don't want to go digital only,
Are
you're
you
gonna
sure?
have to give them
A lot
system.
do.
Yeah, only
Market.
like 40% of the market, maybe 50% of the market has moved to digital only. GameStop's still open. If no one was buying physical shit, they would not be open.
Do they sell PC games?
No, not at all.
Okay,
So
so
that
That-
What?
right. So most PCs.
We're
I,
talking-
I had to buy an
we're
external
talking
PC
about
drive to install Windows. My computer does not have a disk drive in it.
Okay, sure, but
Kim's iMac does not have a disk drive in it. That's external as well.
yeah, sure.
Right.
But the majority of console gamers, if not the majority, then 50%, we'll cut it right down the middle. They still
are we
buy
guessing?
they still buy physical discs.
I don't know where, but
GameStop, Walmart, Best Buy, Target.
yeah, we were talking about PCs when you said they don't need a disk drive, and then we were asking where do you get those discs at for the PC?
Oh, for PC,
Fine.
nowhere.
Yeah,
Amazon.
that was your argument. You said that PCs
I mean, we're sort of falling off the tracks. I'm just
Well,
saying the future is going to go.
my
Future's
point
going to go
was,
Roku,
yeah,
Chromecast, consoles are going to go away. PCs are going to stay the same way they are now, and console gamers are just going to be streamer gamers unless they want to take the next leap to PCs. That's my prediction.
yeah.
Yep.
It also depends on when the internet infrastructure improves, and if 5G is actually killing us or going to kill us or whatever.
The same statistic said 75% of U.S. households have broadband, so
Yeah,
that's a lot. It's a big chunk. What's 75% of 350 million, right?
sure. Yeah. But is that internet good enough to stream? Because Stadia tests were like you need 15 down and 5 up, and like
Yeah, up is a killer for a lot of people.
yeah, up wouldn't matter for much for doing that. Yeah. I've just beat you, Denstein. Just beat you.
2018, 17% of all media sales were physical. 17%.
That's all
So-
media, though. That's including movies and TV shows.
No, sorry, U.S. computer and video games.
Huh.
So nowhere close to 50%.
17%
Yep.
is physical?
Yep.
Woo!
I bet you those are special
Nice.
editions that come with a big
Yes.
dumb toy or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And which I will spend a ton of money on whatever Halo gives me this year. If they're like, you get a Halo Infinite specific special edition system, fine. I'm buying it. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. Give me a statue. I'll buy the special edition game and the special edition system. I'm one pet peeve when people come into GameStop and say, if we got any PS4 games, and I point to the games, and they go, nah, the game. And they mean the system?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's parlance. That's colloquial parlance. That's just like
That's like when you're playing Call of Duty. Oh, I hate this board. Motherfucker, it's a map, dude.
Yeah.
or is it a level?
Or is it a level?
I
Yeah.
hate this board. God
I didn't-
damn it.
Yep, I didn't hear bored until I moved here.
I
Then,
think I got that from Caesar and Mo playing
Yep.
shit, and they're like, "Oh, I hate this board sucks."
Yep.
What?
That's an old arcade thing, I think. But then it's same thing like people saying like you gotta switch it off or something like that. Like I don't know. People say different things.
Does board come from the games that used to have like different boards you put in for the
No,
like levels?
there's no way.
I think Google knows. Did that help?
Yeah, it got really quiet because everybody jumped onto.
Type.
How do you-
Stage,
it's a-
level, or board.
Yeah.
Anyway, that'll take some reading, and that's not good radio. I did run my download speed right now. I have 7 millisecond latency, 460 megabits per second down, and 133 megabits up.
Yep.
Pretty good. I'm a fiber optic, so I could stream.
Wait, you're fiber and it's not parallel?
It is sometimes, but no, not all the time. I'm also like streaming right now and broadcasting, so
Yeah.
yeah, something's going on.
Yo, dude, board is a holdover from the days when the action took place on a single screen and advancing in the game actually changed the board you played on. Like when you would go to the side of the screen and the whole thing would slide over.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a board. So fuck off. Stop calling multiplayer maps boards. That's dumb.
It's fine.
that's fine.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense.
All right. Next question.
So I guess we've talked about the necessity of consoles and the necessity of physical media and the necessity of internet improving so that streaming can be the thing. What do you think these systems coming out this fall need to price themselves at to be competitive? Because I don't want to buy an Xbox One less than $500 because I know it's not going to compete with the PCs. And if I'm, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like if I'm buying something less than $500,
I don't get that. I don't get that reasoning, but I see it needing to be $500.
Yeah, if they sell you something for less than $500, they're either taking a huge loss, which if that's the case, I'm fine, or they're selling you a system with subpar stuff in it.
Well, Xbox isn't gonna care. They're not gonna care if they take a loss. because they're gonna get you everywhere else. I think Eric was talking about that in the Discord.
Yeah, 100%. They've
That-
got like
that Microsoft's like, you know what? We can put PS4 or PlayStation in a really shitty spot and sell our stuff for like $450, and PlayStation's gonna be like, well, ours is $500, so and we can't drop it any lower because they don't have that same connection with their community.
yeah, and Microsoft
Microsoft
has
does.
the fucking it's Microsoft. Like their
Okay.
number one thing is an
And
Xbox.
freaking Game Pass is gonna. They care more about people signing up for Game Pass
Yes.
than they do buying consoles.
So yeah, it's
Yeah, you're
it's
absolutely
a
right.
it's a marketing equation, not the cost of hardware.
Yeah.
How much are you willing to lose on this?
For
the
Xbox, but PlayStation, it's hardware and
Yeah,
making the highest dollar they can make. 'Cause they need.
I mean it's more of a calculated loss. How much are you willing to lose? Because they never make money on consoles, either company, except for Nintendo, because they make all their own shit.
In May of 2019, Game Pass was estimated to have 10 million monthly subscribers.
Wow,
10 million people is giving you $10 a month.
that's $1 billion a month, isn't it? Isn't
That's
that
100 million. 10
Or is
times
that
10 times 10. 10
Okay.
million times 10 would be 100 million.
1-0.
that Game Pass Ultimate or just Game Pass?
That's just Game Pass. Game Pass Ultimate wasn't a big thing until like June.
Okay, so check it out. For those who know what Intellivision is, it's Mattel's. Well, I think Mattel made one of them, but there's a lot of different versions. Atari made something in the 1980s called an Intellivision, and it was sold for $299. Adjusted purchasing power,
768,
$573.81.
573. Yeah, game systems have been around $500, except for a few that are like $700 or $800, and I have no idea how
Yeah.
those sold.
They've
This
been-
is November 2019 from Gama Sutra. Sorry, I've never understood how to pronounce that. Phil Spencer said that in the year 2019, Xbox Game Pass subscriptions more than doubled.
Wow.
So they're sitting at 20 million. They're sitting at $200 million a month. They don't give a fuck about how many systems they sell, guys.
Yeah,
They don't
Probably
care. They don't care, and they can sell it at whatever price they want because they'll make it back in
Oh
months.
wow. Okay, so sorry. This just tells you how fucked our economy is. That number I gave you was from 2016. From 1980 to 2020, $300 is now worth $1,005. That's how much inflation went up over the last 4 years. $400 worth.
Nice.
That's insane.
Well,
So
that's weird. That can't be right.
okay, that makes sense to me. Everything's getting more expensive, and people aren't
Except
making money.
except for systems. Like
Right,
Xbox-
and this has been my problem for a long time. The fact that our prices for entertainment's not going up.
Well,
Why
yeah,
are movie tickets $20,
Yes.
but games are still $60?
Hold on, this was brought up in chat.
Yeah.
In chat, and people talked about it. And somebody made a good point that I liked.
Probably me.
It wasn't you. It was
Oh.
it was in contrast to you. That someone brought up that like it's easy to look and say inflation has caused the price of things to go up, and forget about the fact that like while that's happened, wages have barely gone up, and like cost of living has gone up, and so like things have to stay low priced because despite the fact that things should cost more, people can't afford to pay more. So if they cost what they were worth
Right.
as like weighed against inflation, it would like no one would be able to buy them.
That is a good point, but I think you're blaming the wrong thing. Capitalism makes sure that we have inflation and borrowing against a system and all that stuff. So prices are always going to go up. The problem is not that prices keep going up or things that are getting more expensive. Is that people aren't making enough money. So the reason
That's what I just said.
It is, but you're blaming the wrong thing. Like it's the cost of living that's staying down. So we're saying the same things. You're right. You can't charge so much that people can't buy it. But you know, don't blame inflation because that's as natural as the weather. But like I would blame the cost of the what people are making. That's why they call it. They don't call it inflation. They also call it purchasing power. You know, so you could work at McDonald's in the 1980s and make fucking $60K a year, $100K a year, equivalent purchasing power equivalent.
Yeah, well, there are people that talk about paying their way through college working at Steak and Shake
That's right, because you
in
could.
the '60s because
Right.
college was
Purchasing
because
power-
college was cheaper.
And the purchasing power of $6 an hour in the '80s was fucking huge. Now you make $7 an hour, and you're making $16,000 a year purchasing power equivalent. So yeah, you're not going to be able to buy an Xbox.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
So things
the
have
prob-
got so things have gotten more expensive, right?
yes, but income hasn't gone up with it.
Right.
Like the only thing that hasn't gone up is what people should be making, and I think that's why these companies are still profitable, right? The reason they sold 13 billion hamburgers last year is because they're paying people $6 an hour. So like, you know, how if yeah, we're
Yeah.
getting way off topic, but if you have to give people $7 an hour to stay in business, maybe you don't have a good business. But like, I don't know, there's a major flaw in the system.
Yeah. It's also funny that the places that pay minimum wage are the places that make more money than most places that pay more than minimum wage.
Right.
But that's fine. Still,
So what do we do now? Because
still, what
the
do
topic is that these studios are like, you know more about this than anybody, is that these $60 price tags and all this stuff, and these studios that go under because they don't make sales, right? Like how many studios are going under because they don't make sales because they had to sell their game for $40-$60
I
in
think,
in an industry that needs to sell things for more than $40-$60.
yeah, and I think that's interesting because that's more a problem or more a question that can be answered by what's the word for just too much? Um,
Excess?
yeah, there's so much shit that comes out that on top of needing to sell, you have to shine above like 10,000 games a year or some
Yeah.
shit like that on Steam. And like back in 2006 when Steam launched, there was like 90 games the first year.
Right.
So like everybody got attention, at least a little bit, and you could see it. And so the interesting thing is that like on top of needing to sell a number of units to like not cash to break even, then like you also have to figure out how to market it so that people pay attention to it, and you have to try and be unique enough that people don't just go, oh, it's just a clone of that, and you have to figure out how to do all of that without going over budget, and you have to do that. Yeah, so it's a
Oversaturation.
that's part of it. Saturation is
Right.
what I was trying to say. Yes.
Right.
That's a part of it. There's a lot of shit coming out, and
I
so
just
it's
can't
hard
help.
to make waves without taking big risks. And taking big risks means they're harder to pay off. Like if the game Brink had come out 8 years later, that game would have been wildly popular. Because Brink was a multiplayer online shooter with no campaign, and the campaign,
Yeah.
if you wanted to play it, was told through the multiplayer matches, which is what Titanfall did. And Titanfall did it and was wildly successful, and that company's made incredible games since then.
Right.
And if Brink comes out a few years later, then it's successful. But at the same time, you've got games like Stardew Valley that a guy made for 5 years, released it, and makes millions and millions of dollars because it was well made and happened in a time where we didn't have games like it.
Well, I heard it elegantly put the other day that said this is what what's the name of that game? This is what Animal Crossing would have turned into if it went in the direction the fans wanted it to.
Right, very much.
So it filled a void that people wanted because Animal Crossing turned into something else.
And that's happening with Pokemon right now. There's a game out there called Temtem that's just Pokemon, but if it had the shit people have been asking for. And people are like, oh fuck, this fucking slaps. And so Pokemon's like, we're adding this, and everyone's like, yeah, no shit. Which I think is why like Mixer, like Ryan moved over to Mixer. I think that's why Mixer was important. Mixer went, hey Twitch, you're not competing, no one's competing with you. So let's do something and then have things that you don't have, like co-streaming and like what's the thing, Sarge, that people earn just by watching Mixer that they can spend? Sparks. Now Twitch has those, but it's like
Yeah,
Mixer's had those from the beginning. So it's interesting when things like this compete, but I think that we might be venturing away from the topic. As much as I may know about the development process and how much it costs, there's no finite or even easy to suss out answer to do you just make games more expensive. What I do agree with, and what Eric said in the chat when we had this conversation, is that we're going to see more and more games with little shit you can buy that doesn't mean anything. It just makes you look a different way to help them sustain. Because Overwatch proved in 2016, when in the first 3 months of 2017 they made $64 million, that you can do that and make oodles of fucking money. But that also leaves the Lawbreakers equation for creating a game similar to it that does the same thing that doesn't catch on for some reason.
I saw an article today that said is Bleeding Edge gonna do what Lawbreakers, did, which is just like fade away in obscurity for no fucking reason other than just bad timing or
And then that's the
Lawbreakers is fucking rad.
yeah.
I would have played it more if it was on Xbox, but
Yeah, and Xbox, having Xbox's support and being an Xbox studio means to me that Bleeding Edge will stick around way longer.
Sure.
It's Ninja Theory, and they've got 2 other games that are coming. Hellblade's gonna sell like hell. Hellblade's gonna sell like crazy. That's not even a good one either.
it's gonna
Because
sell like
it's about
heaven.
mental health. Fuck, Hellblade's gonna sell like hotcakes. There's no hotcakes in.
Actually, the Vikings invented pancakes.
Fucking stupid. So back to the question that started this tangent. How much are you willing to pay for your system? Just first number that pops to your head. What's the peak you'll pay for an Xbox this fall?
Oh, okay, that's 2 different things. I think I would like to have a mental exercise to see how much I'd be willing to spend. How much? Yeah, Tech said 7.
I would pay 7.
That's a
Yeah.
big chunk.
I would.
That's a big
If
chunk.
I'm buying a system for 7, it's gotta be fucking beefy.
And
And
we know
I-
the specs on this one, and it's,
And you read the specs on the Series X, and you go, yeah.
kind of a
I'd,
boss.
I'd pay $700 for a thing that does 8K at 120 frames per second.
I spent $900 on my PC 6 years ago. It still doesn't do what an Xbox
Right, right, exactly.
I spent
Exactly.
1,500 building mine, and it
Yeah.
can't hang.
Yeah,
So I put $700 into my PC, and I stay in my office like a loser, or I buy an Xbox and I go hang out in my living room with my friends.
yeah. And that's not a bad. If I knew I could get my PC up to par with $700, but I know I can't. Like, I need to spend probably $400 on a graphics card and a couple $100 on processing and
Yeah.
all sorts of shit. The Xbox is the easiest bet for me. And yeah, if I decide to stream it, I'll still have to stream in fucking 1080p, 1080, because I don't have the. Maybe that's something I save for, right? Getting the Elgato plug-in that streams 4K, but at the same time, like, that's a lot of fucking network.
Streaming 4K would be pointless because you got to think about the people that can't watch.
Right.
That's my streaming in
So-
1080 is
so
fine
it-
to me. Streaming in
So playing
1080
in
is
4K because you can watch yourself, because you can watch it in 4K is fine, but like streaming
Yeah.
it for other people to watch, it's like you can enjoy 1080 because
yeah,
probably-
exactly,
you're
exactly.
probably still watching it in 720.
Yeah, you're still probably watching on your phone or on a laptop or at work, and you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to have to worry about that. So everyone's willing to spend 7. Any more than that?
I mean,
I'm gonna be probably spending around 7 because if there's the Halo one, it's gonna be. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm in a tough financial situation, so like I would only be able to answer this in this hypothetical situation that everything is fucking gravy, and I'd be like, oh yeah, 700 sounds great. Can I? No, but that's not really the topic. So
Sure.
I would love it. I'd love it to be $500, but I couldn't afford that right now either. So I might just
Sure.
not be getting one it's November. Who knows? But
You said that about the Xbox One before, but you and Tech ended up. You were living together, and y'all came in. Remember, you came up to Jacksonville and bought
Yeah, I
one
do
day
remember that.
one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we made it happen. We split it. We sold everything we owned. We were sleeping on the floor. Not really, but so I think we sold as much of our electronics as we could to
Sure.
compensate. So
Yeah, and I was in college. I sold my 360 and all of its games, and my PS3 and all of its games towards.
right.
I bought.
We did not sleep on the floor.
And Dentonstein says he refused to pay what an Xbox costs now that he did in the past. Yeah, fuck yeah, everybody did. PlayStation didn't sell when it was like $600 on the PS3, and now people are like, yeah, I mean, I get it, I do it.
Everybody complains once the new system drops. They're like, it's this much money. Well, why? Well, stupid. It's the new system.
Yeah, if you wanted to compete with fucking anything, it's gotta cost you money, bud. Sorry.
And it's gonna cost more than the last one because it's got a lot better shit than the last one.
It's gonna cost more than what the current one costs. You understand?
Yeah. If you
I
bought
paid
a new,
$400 for this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Great. Now put these side by side and see what the fuck it doesn't do.
yeah,
And it's not like a car. You can just go get the Hyundai version. That's not the BMW costs, right? Like you
Right.
can go get a different Xbox, which would be interesting.
well, that might be a thing this year. That's the other thing that I wanted to bring up is Xbox has 3 consoles in development right now. I hate the way this 3 looks. I like this 3.
You like this one better?
I like the
Because when-
German. I
because
like
when,
the,
it,
I like this.
when you
one
turn it,
better.
because when you turn it sideways, we get to punch you, or you get to punch us.
yes. No, I like the German one where they count with their thumb as 1, 1, 2, 3. Watching Glorious Bastards. That's why he gets shot. The Xbox is potentially making 3 systems this year. The Series X, the Series S, and then like a base. Because we have the Series X, which is Project Scarlet, and we have Lockhart and Anaconda. And so the rumor is that we're gonna get a $700 system, and people are gonna be like, "What?" And then 10 minutes later in the show at E3, they're gonna be like, "Also, we're releasing a $400 one that's more powerful than the Xbox One X, but not as powerful as the Series X."
Yeah.
And then they're gonna say, "Oh, and we're making an all digital version of that that'll be $300." And PlayStation's gonna have to eat all of their money or sell their system more expensive.
Nah, they've got enough cultists. They'll be fine. They have their Sony horde. They'll buy the new system.
Sure.
And
Dan-
Sony's sold more systems than anybody combined, so they'll be all right.
Sure, they'll be fine.
Yep.
Dentonstein brought up that people buy $1,000 phones. I would counter that by most people don't. Most people
finance.
Most people finance $1,000 phones and pay a monthly on it. I worked at Apple West County, and even there, most people did it through a plan. Don't get me wrong, there more people bought it out with straight up cash or with a single card transaction than in other places, but still, most people. And Xbox has a finance. They have a plan where you can go through and finance an Xbox.
Yep.
It's called like Xbox Access or something like that, and you get an Xbox One X, Game Pass, Xbox Live, and all that shit for like $53 a month or something like that. Which like, it's not $50 a month. It's not that. Whatever it is when by the time you've paid off the system, it's not any extra money than buying that stuff outright. You just pay it off later. Tech says his iPhone was bought outright for $1,000. I will sacrifice my body so it doesn't hit the floor. Yeah, sure. I bought my brand new iPhone 10 and came home with it, and my daughter picked it up while I was doing something and went, "Look, Daddy, your phone," and went, "Huh," and threw it to me and cracked the screen protector the day I took it home. And so I went back to Apple the next day and I emailed Belkin and was like, "Yo, the screen protector broke the day I bought it," and they were like, "So here's another one."
Nice.
Yeah, fucking kids, dude. Ugh. Someone said, Dan Stein said, "Woof, you got sweet health care?" Because that's a whole other fucking cost. So I guess to wrap up, are you guys planning on buying next gen? Sounds like yes, if possible.
If possible, sure.
Sure.
Yeah. If things are taken care of, money no object, yeah, who cares? Of course. It's a hardcore Xbox. I love PlayStation. I buy them when I need to because there's a game I got to play. But yeah, Xbox has been my system of choice for a long time.
Yo, there's chances that they announce God of War 2 at E3 or this year at some point because Sony's told E3 to fuck off. Oh, I'm gonna want a PS5 just for that game.
Yeah,
But I can also wait.
You're gonna spend another $500 for one game.
Well, it wouldn't be just for one game, you dingus. But
I wait until it's a big backlog.
yeah. I'd wait until.
I waited a long time before I got a 4. Very long.
Never bought a PlayStation, and I probably never.
Yeah, well, right now their exclusives are all single player, and that's not your shtick. That's not your jam.
Their exclusives will always be single player.
You think so? You don't think they're gonna have any multiplayer exclusives? Wait, didn't they announce one already? That looter slasher that looked like.
Oh, I mean, if they have one, then yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Done. Fuck you, bud. That was funny though. That was funny. Shit. Tech said he does not have good insurance. The body will heal, the phone will not. Someday we will have self-repairing phones. Think about that. And while you think about that, we're going to talk about our bounties. Right, Ben, did you pull up a Smurf fact for everybody?
I can pull one up if we're talking about bounties.
You should.
Well, let's talk
Oh,
about-
I bet you I'm going to play audio, and it's not going to play now.
Why?
Because my audio capture is no longer capturing, the shit I needed to capture.
Mine always.
What? Did you whisper that shit?
What?
Just made me spit all over everything.
Shit.
Are we talking about bounties or are we doing this fact?
Do a Smurf fact, man. Hold on,
Okay.
I gotta play my
Oh,
Smurf
yeah.
fact. I gotta play the Smurf fact audio because y'all gave me a bunch of shit.
Facts, oh yeah.
I just played it while I was talking. Hold on, Smurf facts.
Smurf facts, oh
Okay. What is our
We
Smurf
all-
fact for the day?
We all know us older folk know the hashtag was originally called the pound from the touch-tone telephone.
Yes.
According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the hashtag used to originally be called an octothorpe. The octo prefix refers to the 8 points on the popular symbol, but the thorpe remains a mystery. One theory claims that it comes from an Old English word for village, based on the idea that the symbol looks like a village surrounded by 8 fields. But yes, the pound sign, now known as the hashtag, was originally called an octothorpe.
That looks exactly
So.
like a town.
It does look like a St. Louis intersection, though.
Everything looks like every combination of intersecting lines looks like a St. Louis intersection now. Dope. Well, that's been your Smurf fact.
Smurf facts, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
What else?
That's really it. Yeah, Bevo's the fucking worst. For those of you who don't know, there is a T-shirt that exists that is called "The Intersections of St. Louis," and it looks like a T-shirt full of asterisks that someone drew wrong. It's fucking hilarious. So when we wrap up our show after Smurf Facts, we ask everybody what they've been playing. I'll start it off. It's playing, watching, listening to, or reading. Anything we want to share for you guys to get into over the next week until you talk to us again. I've been playing, still working through God of War. Haven't gotten as far this week because of all the
Go back.
stuff. Yep, you're good. What else am I playing? I started playing Darksiders Genesis with Odin last night. That game's pretty dope. It's like Diablo and I don't know, another dungeon crawler, like a top-down shoot-'em-up twin-stick shooter mixed together. It's pretty dope, and it's co-op, which sexy. Shows nothing at all. Oh, you know what? I got a confession. I started watching The Circle with my wife, which is that fucking show where people compete through social media to be the most popular person, and it's shameful. But I watched it for dude, Tekken's really good. I watched it for 20 minutes, and I walked in on my wife watching it, and I was just like, how dare you? How could you end up watching this? And then 10 minutes later, I was like, why is this so good? So The Circle sucked me in, and it's dope. We're on the finale now. Reading nothing, because I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. That's for fancy people. And listening to nothing that pops up. Ryan, what are your bounties? What do you want to share with people?
I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. Been playing some Farm Sim 19. What else? We played Bleeding Edge the other day. That was super fun. I'm super excited for that too.
Yep.
Also, I carried 2 people to the 2v2 tournament victory on Call of Duty
Nice.
the other night, and I felt fucking amazing. Don't look like that,
The
Caleb.
fuck you
got
mean
fucking
carried
dude.
2 people?
Dude,
Bitch! I was only
carried
bad
you and
semifinals. But when we went to finals, I had 2 rounds. I had 2 or 3 rounds where I killed all 2 people.
All 2 people.
Both
All
people.
of
I
them.
killed both. I killed both of them. Both of them.
Yeah, I went 10-4 on that last set. So good job, appreciate it.
Why you gotta be like that? Why are you the way you are? I fucking hate it. You're a dick.
But that's basically it. I haven't really been watching anything. So
Dope.
Just playing games.
All right, man. Ben, what you want to share with people? Did you get up to get something to share with us?
I did.
Oh shit!
So we are watching The Outsider. It's interesting. Don't recommend it for everybody, but if you like True Detective, you'd love it.
Okay,
How about that?
solid.
Listening to a bunch of metal lately. Shared it on my last stream.
Like just playing it together, or
Yeah.
10,000 against one.
10 hours of junkyard sounds. No, no,
you
like
walk in and it's just like the whole time.
ASMR metal sounds. Anyway, enough of that joke.
AS
No, like,
metal R.
that's right. Let's keep going. So like then Kayla, yeah, I got to share off some released the Archers, and Caleb and I were listening to and Moncho. We're listening to that guy Devin Townsend on stream the other night, formerly known as Strapping Young Lad. So yeah, getting into some metal. As much as this, it's the really fast stuff I can't tolerate, but
It's also not death. It's also not death metal. It's like metal where you can hear what they're saying.
well, yeah, well, Devin Townsend is, but I also like the like that shit too. So whatever. Reading. Batman: Curse of the White Knight is up to number 6.
Ooh, that cover
haven't-
though.
Yeah, haven't even cracked it open yet, but
That's Azrael on the top, right?
it is. Yep. Spoiler. Yes, it is.
That's on the
Also-
cover, so fuck you. It's not a spoiler.
It's number 6. It's spoiler if you're reading number 1. My buddy Zach Howard got the lifetime achievement of being able to draw a Hellboy. So this is like a life goal for him. It's only a 2-part series, but he's actually like working with Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, to do a 2-run series.
That's dope.
And this guy's art is stupid good, so I picked this up. And the only other thing I'm reading right now is the look how big this one is in comparison.
Yeah, it's like
she
a
said.
perfect.
But yeah, this
waiting.
is Wonder Woman Dead Earth. This is the Black Label DC stuff. It's super heavy paper. It's really quality stuff. But this is Daniel Warren Johnson. This is one of my favorite artists right now.
Yeah.
Actually, no, he's one of my favorite creators because he writes everything he draws. That's his thing.
Must be an easy guy to employ. And we want you to do a book, and we don't have to hire a letterist or a colorist or an artist. You can do it.
Well, it's funny you worded it that way because he does use a letterer and a colorist, but he does
alright.
do all the art and the scripts. But anyway, that's what I'm reading. I'm not reading anything long form right now, and that's all I got as far as bounties.
All right. Nope.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to catch us playing games, we stream from here. Ryan also streams, and Ben does his art on stream. You can find all of those at the handles that we'll give you in just a moment. But if you want to find out where you can listen to,
Well, I mean, it's mentioned right there on the screen.
it is right there on the
for
screen.
those watching.
If you're watching.
Right.
If you are not watching, you can follow everything NerdyBits does at nerdybits.com. You can follow everything I do specifically at Lubweb on Twitter, Instagram, Xbox, and PlayStation. Ryan, where can people find you and your stream? And what's your stream schedule? Just let people know.
Sergeant Sodium on Mixer, and it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 6 p.m. Central Standard Time until I decide.
Until he
So
decides
it could
to
be like
stop.
8 a.m.
Yeah.
You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Xbox at Sergeant Sodium.
And you have a For You page, right?
No, he's got a back page, though.
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans page.
Yeah.
myfreeones.com.
Yeah, I get premium Snapchats.
There it is. There it is.
Snap ass.
Just $1 an image.
Snapshaft? What?
Snapchat.
Yeah.
Ben, where can people find you? Please get us out of that.
I have just about everything I've ever made is on sketchstory.com, including my currently running Wipeout fan comic based on the game. I just released page 3. Yeah, page 3 last night. I was a little bit behind on that one, but it's full of like spaceships and buildings, and it's a real pain in the ass to draw. I didn't think about that ahead of time.
That's funny.
So, and then yeah, everywhere at sketchstory.com. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Dope. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Those of you who are here, we're gonna be back in a few minutes to stream some probably with some more Call of Duty or something. We had some
Anthem.
people. We had some people. Jones in the Anthem. I didn't even saw that. Anyway, we will catch you guys in a little bit if you're staying here. And thank you for listening. We'll catch you guys next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace. I don't know why.
Yoink. We are Sweebop. Fleedoop.